Hello and welcome to today's episode of Fly to Freedom. I've decided to do this episode following a comment that was made to me by a potential client that I had a consultation call with. She wants to recover, she really wants to get well, but what's putting her off working with me is, in her eyes and from her comment, is that I am fat now, and she couldn't bear that idea happening to her. And yes, I gained weight in recovery. I needed to gain weight in recovery. And my body will do what she needs to do. And when my body finally settles down, it will be in a body size that's just right for me. But this comment got me thinking of what else I gained in recovery, what else I gained when I gained the weight. And I gained the ability to sleep, to actually have a good night's sleep, because when I was in the eating disorder, I rarely slept for more than 2 hours a night, and that was normally quite broken sleep as well. So sleep is huge and so important for our health and well-being. So I've gained the ability to sleep. I've gained the ability to see things, to go for walks and see the beauty of nature all around me. For every morning when I walk my dogs, I walk along past the river, and I've watched over the last few months the swans nesting, building their nest together and then sitting on eggs. And I've seen the little tiny cygnets and seen them growing and growing. And it's been absolutely beautiful to see every single day, see the progress of these beautiful swans and their cygnets. And now they're happily swimming up and down the river, really gaining lots of confidence. And I never noticed stuff like that when I was in the eating disorder, because walking the dogs was a way of burning calories. It was a way of compensating for what I was going to eat or what I had eaten. And there was no pleasure to it. It was just simply a compulsion, something I had to do. And I never noticed the beauty of the world around me. I've gained excitement. I can wake up and feel excited for the day ahead, excited for what's going to happen and what I'm going to see, who I'm going to speak to, what I'm going to do. It doesn't feel like Groundhog Day anymore, where I get up in the morning, I go for a run, I feed the dogs, I go to the gym, I go for a really long walk, I do cleaning, I do baking. It doesn't feel like that kind of Groundhog Day anymore at all. There's so many different things to discover. And I've also gained the ability to face fear. And I face that kind of with excitement as well. Whereas it just used to terrify me and I ran away from it. Now I know that when I feel fear of something, it's actually quite an exciting opportunity to grow, to develop some more. And constant growth is also something I've gained, the ability to look at what scares me, look at what I'm doing and go through it and learn and grow. And that's amazing. Just knowing that there's so much more world to discover, so much more about myself to discover. I've gained body heat, which is a big thing because I was freezing. I was constantly freezing cold. My hands were like ice, my feet were like ice. And to not have to have lots of jumpers on and to be constantly shivering is lovely. So yeah, body heat, body temperature regulation is amazing. I've gained headspace, that constant thoughts of food going round and round in my head. What can I eat? What shouldn't I eat? How much exercise do I need to do? How many calories can I have? How much do I need to burn? That's gone. All of it. I don't think of it at all. And that's amazing. Just having space in my head to think of other things, or just some peace and quiet in my head. And that has also helped me gain time for me, time to do things simply because they make me happy, like curl up and read a book, like walk the dogs and look at nature, like go to the cinema with friends. And that's also something I couldn't have done because I've gained the ability to rest and sit still. And I could never have done that before. I could never have gone to the cinema. I used to say, oh, I can't, I don't like the cinema. But it was just an excuse. It was just an excuse because I couldn't allow myself to sit still for that long. So, yeah, that's another thing I've gained. And focus, to be able to actually focus on the film or focus on a book without my mind whirring in all sorts of directions about what I needed to do next to please the eating disorder. So that's another one, a huge one. Feeling relaxed, that's another one. I can actually just not feel that constant anxiety and stress all the time. I can sit down and not be looking around for, oh, that's not been done, or what will they think of me? What should I do next? And all of that used to be constantly going around my mind. And now I can just sit down and relax and be like, that's okay. If I haven't done that yet, that's fine. So the ability to relax is huge. I've gained compassion for other people, and that I can be patient with them and I can meet them where they're at. And I can know that everybody has their story and we can't compare ourselves to anybody, or can't, if somebody's going through a hard time, I can listen to them and I can just be there. And I was so wrapped up in my own world, in my own head. I couldn't do that before. I used to do everything I could to help people, sure. I always felt like I had to be helping people, that it was something I should do, regardless of whether they wanted it or I had the capacity to give it. But just being able to have compassion for other people feels so great, that I can just be there and be what they need me to be. Also, within that, and having compassion for people and not judging people, I've gained the ability to make new friends because I'm not comparing myself to them, not making myself feel less than or anything like that. I just see people for who they are and what they are now, and that's absolutely fine. And I let people accept me without trying to mind read them and judge them. And so that's another amazing thing that I have gained. I have gained the ability to start understanding myself and tuning into my needs and what my body needs, listening to my body if I need rest, if I need food, if I need some space and some time on my own, or if I need some connection and some companionship, and just understanding a little bit more about myself. And that has helped me gain confidence and be able to speak up. I never used to speak very much when I was with other people because I didn't believe that what I had to say had any value and that anyone would be interested. And I now do have the confidence to speak to other people, and they do seem to be interested. And what I have to say does have value. And so I've gained the confidence to do that. And also with that, I've gained the ability to say no. I don't feel like I have to people please anymore. And if somebody would like me to do something that's not right for me, I can say no and it's all okay. Whereas I never, ever used to be able to do that. And with that, there's free will. I get to choose what I want to do. And I'd never felt that I deserved free will before, that I deserved to choose what I wanted to do. I choose what I want to eat. I choose what I want to drink. I choose what I want to wear because of what makes me happy, not because of what I think I should do, not because of what I think other people might consider acceptable, just for my own free will. I've gained the ability to enjoy exercise. Now, I used to do a lot of exercise in the eating disorder. It was really, really compulsive. but I can't really say I enjoyed it. It was kind of like a punishment to my body. It was a way of earning food, earning acceptance, earning the body that I thought I should have. But now I exercise and I really enjoy moving my body. And if something doesn't feel good to me, then I don't do it. And that's such a different experience. And I exercise because I want to, not because I feel that I have to. I've gained laughter and mischief and fun and the ability to have fun with other people, have banter, play jokes on people, which is doing my husband's head in all the time because I'm always playing jokes on him. And I love having this sense of mischief and this fun, and so much makes me laugh. And I never used to laugh at all. And so with that, I've gained better relationships because I'm able to be more open. I'm able to be more vulnerable. I'm able to be more fun and laugh and connect and just simply be present, which I wasn't able to do. People would talk to me and I would find myself being unable to listen to what they had to say because my mind was drifting off. I couldn't focus. And I'd be constantly thinking in my head of what I had to do next, what the eating disorder wanted me to do next. And so being able to be more present and actually being able to listen to other people and communicate with other people properly has really, really improved my relationships with other people. Patience is something I'm still working on, to be honest, but I'm a lot more patient than I was. I have much more ability to just wait for the right things to happen rather than trying to force things to happen all the time. I do feel patience is going to be a lifelong project for me, though. Also, gratitude. I am really, really able to focus on what I am grateful for. I'm able to appreciate what I've got and appreciate myself and my body. I can appreciate what my body does and how unbelievably magnificent our bodies are and how they heal and how they keep us safe and protect us. And I never had appreciation for my body or gratitude for what my body does for me and what other things, what I have, what I see, what I receive, what I can give. I'm able to be so much more grateful and appreciate so much more. And we're getting on to some of the biggies now, which are I'm able to have self-compassion. And that inner bitch that used to just be so evil and so nasty and just literally slate me the whole time and make me feel like I was worthless and nothing. That inner bitch is gone. She's just not there. She just doesn't really ever raise her head or speak to me. And now I can be compassionate and I can say, that's okay. I'm not perfect and that's fine. If I make a mistake, I'm human and I'll just move on and that's fine. And being able to be compassionate with myself and not constantly criticizing myself and putting myself down has made such an enormous difference to how I feel. So to be able to gain self-compassion has completely transformed my life. And that self-compassion has actually led to self-love. And that is just something I never, ever believed was possible. I hated myself so much. And I never, ever believed that it was possible to learn to love who I am. But we are all born loving ourselves. Babies love every aspect of themselves and they put themselves first. They shout and they demand what they want to have and what they need. and they love their bodies and they just love everything about themselves. And that's the way we should be. That's our natural state. That's what we were born into before society and conditioning took it away. And being able to return to that and know that I am good enough just as I am, and I don't have to try and be anybody else or try and do anything else. I'm just good enough for being me. And that whilst I can have goals and whilst I can work towards things, I'm not failing if I don't meet them. And everything in life can be answered and looked at with love. And that makes such a huge, huge difference. And that brings me to happiness, which I feel so much now, all the time, and the ability to feel all our emotions, a whole range, which I couldn't do at all in the eating disorder. And as I mentioned in self-love, the thing that I've gained so much is the knowledge that I'm good enough and I'm worthy and that I love who I am. And so regardless of how much weight I gained in the eating disorder, when I look at this huge, huge list of all the other things I gained, and one of those things is the ability to actually not care what other people think of my body or think of me, because I don't need to care because my body is exactly as it should be. And so when I look at all these different things that I've gained, weight is the least of them. And weight is not a worry at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't define who I am, and it doesn't define who you are. So, yeah, the answer to what you gain and living with gaining weight is yes, in eating disorder recovery, gaining weight is very possible and often very, very necessary. But the amount of other things you gain along the way far, far outweighs any issues with gaining weight. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.